Namaste and welcome to my YouTube classroom. This is your teacher PRP and I welcome you all for today's solution session of the i3T examination 2020 paper for the Indian Institute of Teacher Education, Gandhinagar for the UG courses, that is B.Sc.B.Ed and B.A.B.Ed. The paper for B.Sc.B.Ed and B.A.B.Ed will be common, and you can say that for the PG courses, it is just a little of a higher level. So if you can solve this paper, if PG students can solve this paper, then you can definitely solve your original PG paper also. So without any delays, let us start with the solution. This is the 2020 paper. It is available at the Indian Institute of Teacher Education, Gandhinagar website. As you know, the section 1 of the paper is going to be general awareness, that is your general knowledge and current affairs. So let us just go through the questions in this question paper. First one, in which state there is the lowest population of scheduled castes? Now, according to the census taken, it is Arunachal Pradesh which has the lowest population of the scheduled caste. For which dance Andhra Pradesh is famous for? You know that Bihu, it is a dance of Assam. Okay, Bharatnatyam, you know, it is a dance of Tamil Nadu. Kathakali is a dance of Kerala. Okay, therefore, Kuchipudi is a dance which is famous in Andhra Pradesh. When did India become a member of the WTO? WTO is the World Trade Organization. So India became a member of the WTO in the year 1995. Where is the headquarter of the ICC located? ICC is the International Cricket Council. Where is the headquarter of ICC located? It is located in Dubai. Which Indian film was first ever sent for the Oscar Awards? You know that Mother India was the first Indian film which was sent for the Oscar Award. Okay, it was selected in the category of the best feature film in international languages. So it was Mother India. Okay, which of the following is not the river from the Himalaya? Sindhu, which is Indus, it is from the Himalaya. Okay. Ganga comes from the Himalaya, Gangotri, which lies in the Himalayas. Brahmaputra also comes from the Himalayas. It is Krishna, which originates in the Western Ghats. Okay. It originates in the Western Ghats, which is not from the Himalayas. So answer B is Krishna. Question number 7. In which year the Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh was incepted? Incepted का मतलब है किस साल में उसको शुरू किया गया? It was 27th of September 1925. Okay, a little more details. 27th September 1925 it was incepted, and it was incepted in the city of Nagpur. Okay, Nagpur was a town back then. Okay, and it was founded by Hegdewarji. Question 8. Who has given the features of women empowerment? Now, all of the freedom fighters here have spoken of women empowerment, okay? But specifically, it is Dr. Rawal, okay? Dr. Rawal or Dr. Chandrika Behin Rawal, who is a woman empowerment socialist in the state of Gujarat. Next, Satya Nadella is the CEO of which company? Of course, it is Microsoft. Satya Nadella is the CEO of Microsoft since the year 2014. In which country every citizen has dual citizenship? Yes, it is the United States of America. United States of America allows its citizens to have dual citizenship. Okay. Who is the Chief Defense Staff of India? You know that General Bipin Rawat. Okay, it was in the year 2020. General Bipin Rawat was the it's in the Gujarati section. It's given a C. Okay, General Bipin Rawat was the Chief of Defense Staff (CDS) of India, but in the year 2021 there was an unfortunate incident in which we lost General Bipin Rawat. Okay, the current Chief Defense Staff of India is General Anil Chauhan. Okay, who's the current one? Currently, it is General Anil Chauhan. Okay, next one. 1st July 2020 has been celebrated as which day in India? Okay, it is celebrated as a National Doctors Day. 1st July 2020 was celebrated as National Doctors Day. It was in commemoration of Dr. Bidhan Chandra Roy, the second Chief Minister of Bengal, who was a very famous physician and a doctor. Okay, so commemorating his birth anniversary, the National Doctors Day was celebrated on 1st July 2020. Moving on, Who is the chairman of the WHO Executive Board? Okay, WHO is the World Health Organization. In the year 2020, it was Dr. Harshvardhan who was the chairperson or chairman of the WHO. Chairperson because okay, whenever I use the word chairperson, that means it's for the gender neutral term. Okay, because anyone can be a chairperson, can be a male or a female. Okay, chairman, that means specifically a man. So currently now आज के टाइम पे who is the chairperson of the WHO executive board? It is Dr. Jerome Walcott. Okay, Dr. Jerome Walcott is the chairperson of the WHO executive board. Next, who is not a member of Rajya Sabha from Gujarat? Okay, so basic idea, it is Narhari Amin, who is not the member of Rajya Sabha from Gujarat. Okay, the rest of we are. Who is the Deputy Chief Minister of Gujarat? Currently, there is no Deputy Chief Minister in Gujarat. Okay, so if this question arises, there is no Deputy Chief Minister currently. Starting with mathematics, very simple maths in the beginning. Okay, 3x by 2. 3x by 2 is equal to 6. You know, denominator goes on the other side and multiplies with the numerator. So 3x is equal to 6 into 2. 3 ones are 3, 2s are 2 into 2, 4. So x is equal to 4. So the answer is x is equal to 4. Next one. 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5. There are 4 5s. So that is 20. 20 divided by 5. Okay, ब्रैकेट स्लैश का मतलब है it is in the denominator 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 divided by 3. So here there is no separate bracket here. So I have to say 3 plus 3 plus 3, that is 9, plus 3 divided by 3, that is 1. So 3 plus 3 plus 3 is 9, 9 plus 1 is 10. Okay, what is 20 divided by 5? 20 divided by 5 is 4. 4 upon 10, the option is not available, so this is a part of your grace marks. Next one, again simple calculation. You need to know your board mass. Board mass is a very 4th standard, 5th standard level rule of calculation or chain of calculation. Okay, what is the question? 16 into 3 plus 5 into 11 plus 6 divided by 2 minus 33. So you know your board mass, BODMAS. Okay, there is no bracket, there is no off. Start with your division. Where do you see the division sign? So division sign is here. 6 divided by 2, it is 3 minus 33. Okay, then comes multiplication. What are the multiplications here? 5 into 11, 55 plus, and 16 into 3. 16 into 3 is 48. Now you can do the calculation. 48 plus 55 plus 3, that is 103 minus 33. 103 minus 33 is 73. So the answer here is going to be 73. Be very quick with your calculations. Okay, so moving on to the next question. Remember, these are all mathematical questions, but mathematical questions are very simple. बहुत आसान. Okay, let's understand how do you solve the next one. What percentage? Okay, what जब भी होता है यहाँ पे हम लोग x upon 100 डालते हैं, ठीक है? What percentage of 3 kg? Now remember, जब भी आपके पास ऐसी प्रॉब्लम्स आते हैं जहां पे आपके दो यूनिट्स अलग अलग में है, जैसे यहाँ पे 3 kilograms है और 240 grams है, okay? So always convert them into anything that is simple. So I will convert 3 kilograms to 3000 grams. Okay, kilograms को gram convert करने के लिए you need to multiply it by 1000. So what percentage of 3 kilos, that is into 3000, is matlab is equal to 240. Simple maths. 0 0 0 0 एक 0 यहाँ पे कैंसिल होगा, एक 0 यहाँ पे कैंसिल होगा. 3 ones are 3 ones are 24, 3 8s are 24. So the answer is going to be 8%. Okay. Next one, let's understand the pattern. The pattern is 36, 28, 24, 22. Now, जब भी आपके सामने patterns आते हैं, one thing you need to know is either there will be some sort of an addition or some sort of a subtraction. So the first thing you need to do is find the difference between कि दोनों numbers के बीच में difference कितना है. 36 और 28 के बीच में difference होगा हमारा 8. Okay. 28 and 24 के बीच में difference है हमारा 4. 24 और 22 के डिफरेंस है हमारा 2. सो यू सी हम लोग एक एक नंबर को डिवाइड करते जा रहे हैं. सो 8 डिवाइडेड बाय 2, दैट इज 4. 4 डिवाइडेड बाय 2, दैट इज 2. सो नेक्स्ट नंबर डिवाइड 2 by 2. अब 2 को 2 से डिवाइड करो तो क्या होगा, 1 आएगा. तो सब्ट्रैक्ट 1 फ्रॉम 22. 22 से 1 अगर सब्ट्रैक्ट किया तो क्या आएगा, 21 आएगा. सो द नेक्स्ट नंबर इज गोइंग टू बी 20. ओके. फाइंड द ऑड फ्रॉम द फॉलोइंग फिगर. सो यहाँ पे ऑड नंबर कौन सा है, 14, 25, 31, 49. देख के तो लगता है इट इज 31 बिकॉज 31 इज द प्राइम नंबर. ठीक है, 31 इज अ प्राइम नंबर, जबकि बाकी जो है वो कॉम्पोजिट नंबर्स है जिसके दो से ज्यादा फैक्टर्स. Which of the following is the cube root of 125? Cube roots is very simple, you all know. Cube root of 125 is 5. Okay. Next one. 40 into 2 divided by 10 plus 5 minus 4. Okay. 40 into 2 divided by 10 मतलब 2 upon 10. Okay. Let's convert it. Plus 5 minus 4. 2 ones are 2 fives are 5 ones are 5 eights are. Okay. So what is the final equation? 8 plus 5 minus 4. Okay. 8 minus 4 is 4. Okay. 4 plus 5 is 9. So the answer is 9. Okay. Next one. If the number is divided by number itself, what shall be the effect on the number? Okay, it's a very vague question. If there is a number x, it is divided by itself. What happens? The number will be 1. So, number will not change. Of course not. Number will be doubled. Nahi. Number will be half. Nahi. The number will become, the value will become 1. So, none of the above. Next question is from ratio proportion. Ratio proportion का तो बहुत ही आसान है. Okay, 2:4. That is 2:4 is proportionate to 3:what? Okay, so इसको अगर हम लोग equation form में या fraction form में लिखेंगे, 2/4 is equal to 3/x. Okay, cross multiply. X is equal to 3 into 4 divided by 2. 2 ones are, 2 twos are, that is equal to 6. So the answer is A, 6. Moving on to the next one. Okay. Now, when a number is multiplied with the same number, it means it is the square of the number. अगर एक नंबर को हमने same multiply, एक नंबर को same number से multiply किया तो क्या मिलता है हमें, उस नंबर का square मिलता है. Okay. What is the square root of 16? Square root of 16 is 4. When a number is multiplied with 3 and number is divided by 2 is equal to 3, what is the number? Again, linear equation, simple linear equation का question है. A number, let's say the number is x, it is multiplied by 3. 3x and it is divided by 2. It is divided by 2 and the answer is 3. What is the value? 3 and 3 cancels, x is equal to 2 will go and multiply on the other side, it will become 2. So the value of x is 2. How difficult was this? Next one. How many digits are there in mathematics? There are 10 digits in mathematics. Which are they? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, so on up to 9. Okay, there are 10 digits. Total, if you count, there are 10 digits. How many seconds are there in 25 minutes? How do you convert minutes to seconds? 25, jo minute hai, you need to multiply it by 60. What is 25 60s are? That is equal to 0, carry over 0, 1, 5, 1500. Okay, 1500 seconds. 1500 seconds. If a traveler walks 4 kilometers from point A towards the north, let's say this is point A, he has traveled a distance of 4 kilometers, okay, from towards the north, and then turns towards the east for 3 kilometers. East, let's say this side is east, okay. He goes towards the east at what distance? 3 kilometers, and reaches point C, okay. What is the distance of the traveler from point A? So the straight distance of the traveler from point A becomes A to C. Okay. And you see, this is a right angle triangle. जब भी right angle triangle आते हैं, दो sides दिए जाते हैं. What rule? Which theory are you going to use? Pythagoras theorem. So Pythagoras theorem क्या बोलता है? Hypotenuse square is equal to adjacent square plus opposite square. ठीक है? Hypotenuse हमें ढूंढना है. ठीक है? Hypotenuse square is equal to adjacent square 16. 4 squares are 16 plus, ठीक है, 3 square 9. Therefore that is equal to hypotenuse square is equal to 16 plus 9 कितना होता है 25. लेकिन हमें hypotenuse चाहिए तो h is equal to root of 25. What is the root of 25? 5. So the distance is going to be 5 kilometers. Simple. Moving on towards the next question, it's a very simple riddle. There are two goats ahead and two goats behind, and one goat ahead and one goat behind. How many goats are there? Okay, that means if there is one single goat, there are two goats ahead. G, G. Okay, if you take another goat, there are two goats behind. G, G. And if you take another goat, there is one goat behind and one goat ahead. So, what can I say? How many goats are present? Let me just erase this. It's a simple riddle. You don't need to use a lot of your brain here. Okay. Let's say we have three goats. Okay. Let's say G1, G2, G3. Okay. Now, according to G1, there are two goats ahead. According to G3, there are two goats behind. And according to G2, there is one goat behind and one goat ahead. So I can say that there are a total of three goats. In a class of 50 students, 7 students failed in the exam. So what is the pass percentage? Okay. In a class of 50, 7 students failed. So what remains? 43 students have passed the examination. 43 out of 50 have passed the examination. And since you're finding the percentage, you need to multiply it by 100. 51s are, 52s are. Okay. 2 into 43, what is 2 43s are? 86. So 86% of students have passed the examination. Find the odd one out. 27, 64, 25, 49. 7 sevens are 49. 7 square is 49. 5 square is 25. 8 square is 64. 27 is not a square of any numbers, so I can say 27 is odd. Some questions you just look at the options and you'll realize that what pattern is it following? How can you figure out which is the odd one out? If a seller buys a flower vase of rupees 125 and it is sold at a loss of 20%, what is its selling price? Okay. So you know the formula, okay? 100 minus loss percentage, okay, upon 100 into the cost price. Okay. If you all do not know this formula, remember this formula. Okay. कैसे हम लोग selling price ढूंढते हैं? SP is equal to, अगर लॉस है तो माइनस होगा, अगर प्रॉफिट है तो यहाँ पे प्लस हो जाएगा. ठीक है. Selling price is equal to 100 minus loss percentage upon 100 into CP. Okay, let's do the solution. Selling price is equal to 100 minus loss percentage. What is the loss percentage given to us? It is 20%. So 100 minus 20%, that is 80% upon 100 into the cost price. The cost price is rupees 125. Okay, 0 cancels. 8 125s are 100. Okay, 1000. 1000 divided by 10. Okay, 10 तो एक बचा होगा यहाँ पे, फिर से 0 cancels. What remains here? The answer is rupees 100. So the selling price is rupees 100. Option B. How many days are there between 1st February 2020 and 31st Jan 2021? Both dates are inclusive. Okay, simple. 1st February 2020 and 31st Jan 2021. 2020 was a leap year. And how many days are there in a leap year? See, 66 days. Simple. The answer is 366 because it's a leap year. Nothing. There is no calculation, just common sense. Okay. Next one. When a hour hand is on 12 and the minute hand is on 3, what is the angle between the two hands? Now you see, okay, the total degrees of the entire clock is 60, okay, and it is divided into 12 different sections. So the angle between two sections, okay, the minimum angle between two sections is 30 degrees. 30 degrees, okay, the minimum angle between. Now, according to the question, the hour hand is at 12 and the minute hand is at 3. So how many sections are there? 1, 2, 3, 3 sections. If one section is for 30 degrees, 3 sections is going to be for 3 into 30, that is equal to 90 degrees. Or common sense is also possible. Hour hand यहाँ पे है, minute hand यहाँ पे है. What is the angle it's making? It's making 90 degrees, straight off 90 degrees. Okay. Which is the lowest number of two-digit tree numbers? Which is the lowest two-digit number? Come on. It is 10. 10 is the lowest two-digit. Now, starting with English. Okay. When the English letter I is numbered 9, okay, if the English letter I is given the number 9, what should be the number of R? I is the ninth alphabet, okay, because J, you should remember, is the 10th alphabet. So if I is the ninth alphabet, what is the difference between I and R? I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R. Okay. So this is 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So for R, the number is 18. If 9 workers can do the job in 10 days, in how many days can 18 workers do the job? You know the formula. The formula is simple. Worker into day. W1 D1 is equal to W2 D2. Okay. If 9 workers can do it in 10 days, okay, 18 workers will take how many days? Into how many? Okay. 9, simple mathematics. 9 ones are 9 twos are. 2 will come again. 2 ones are 2 fives are. So X is equal to 5 days. You should remember this formula. W1 D1 is equal to W2 D2. If you know this formula, you can solve it. Now, starting with the English and communication part, okay, the response to a sender's message. Okay, if a sender is giving you a message and you're responding to it, okay, so that message, what you respond with, is called a feedback. If suppose I'm sending you a message, okay, you revert back to me. And what are you giving me? You're giving me a feedback. Communication is a part of hard skills, multiple skills, soft skills, short skills, soft skills. Okay. Communication is a part of soft skills because that is developing your human interaction. Okay. Communication can be done orally and written with expression, all of these. Of course, orally, what I'm doing with you is orally. In written, I'm writing and I'm showing, I'm trying to communicate my ideas with you all. With expressions, of course, if I give you good expressions, that means it's an easy question. If I say, oh, it's a bad, tough question, then my expression says so, of course, it is all of the above. As I mentioned in the I3T syllabus video, you see that the English and communication section is going to be in English language for both English and Gujarati medium. So you need to be careful with what the questions are. Okay, 44th question. Which of the following is a study of certain body movement and gestures? Now, whenever you're communicating, gestures are important. Gestures मतलब जो आपकी hand movements है, hand movements आपके हाव भाव है, and it's called gestures. Okay, the first one is chronemics. Second one is proxemics. Okay, C is kinesics, and the fourth one is paralinguistics. Okay, so chronemics is basically the study of time. Okay, how you utilize your time, study of the utilization of time. Okay, proxemics is basically how you're utilizing space. Okay, space का कैसे utilization होता है. Okay, paralinguistics is basically how you're using your vocals. Okay, so kinesics is basically the study of how you're using your gestures. Okay, so it is kinesics. Next one, communication is a non-stop word. Work, program, process, credit. Okay, it is basically a non-stop process. The message can be misinterpreted because of what all can cause misinterpreted messages. It is called barriers. Barriers are basically communication के अंदर जो gap आता है, जो misinformation या miscommunication जो पैदा करता है. These are called barriers. Letter, email, telephone are examples of. Okay, basically जब आप किसी medium को लेते हैं, ठीक है, any medium, through a letter you're trying to communicate with someone, through emails or through telephone also you're trying to communicate with someone, so they become mediums of communication, and the medium of communication is also called channel of communication. Development of communication skills requires clarity of thought, organization of ideas, both A and B. None of this. Of course, you need both. You need to have clarity of thought. अगर आपकी thought process clear नहीं है कि आपको क्या explain करना है अपने बच्चों को, ठीक है, then you can't communicate with your children. Second is organization. आपके पास syllabus का इतना सारा burden रहता है, इतने सारे points होते हैं. अगर आपने उसको organize नहीं किया, you cannot communicate with your students. Countries are referred to by names are also considered. Okay, whenever we say India, we consider India as she. Okay, because we always associate the allegory of a country as a female. जैसे हम भारत को भारत माता के साथ associate करते हैं. Germany associates the motherland with Germania. Okay. Similarly, whenever we associate any country, okay, we refer them to be feminine. We say India is a powerful country because she has the defense system. So हम she क्यों use करते हैं? Because we consider a country or a nation state as a feminine character or a motherland. Finally, 50th question. The dash speech is also called as reported speech. Reported speech का मतलब ये है कि आप किसी और की बातें जब आप report करते हो, okay? The Prime Minister of India said this. The President of India said this. So what are you doing? You're indirectly communicating. So it is called indirect speech. I would rather die than beg. The word in the bracket is now. Than. Whenever you're using a word which is joining two statements, okay, than beg, okay, I would rather die than beg. So it is joining two statements. So such words are called conjunctions. Conjunctions क्या करते हैं? ठीक है? Conjunctions basically join two words and make the sentence more meaningful. Ramesh suggested that Suresh should be bound by a code of conduct, isn't it? Choose the meaning closest to the idioms written below and underlined. Okay, there is no underlined idiom here. Okay, so we cannot look at it. There is no underlined medium. So again, it's grace marks. Dash, it help you in your studies. Okay, what? Was it help you in your studies? No. Is it help you with your studies? No. May it help you with your studies? No. It is will it help you with your studies? See, जब भी हम इंग्लिश की बात करते हैं, put all the options in the blanks. Fill in the blanks में सारे options डाल के देखो, whichever sounds more appropriate, जो भी सुनने में सही लगता है, that is going to be the answer. Similarly, I think I dash a new calculator. I think I need a new calculator. I think I needs a new calculator. I think I needed a new calculator. I think I am needing a new calculator. So I think I need a new calculator. Again, dash, he didn't want to risk it for the third time. Never again, he didn't want to risk it for the third time. Since the last time, he didn't want to risk it for the third time. Having failed or twice already, he didn't want to risk it for the third time. Of course, option C sounds more appropriate because it feels like he has already failed twice and he didn't want to risk it for the third time. What is the full form of CAI? Now moving on to ICT and technology section. What is the full form of CAI? CAI stands for Computer Assisted Instruction. What is the full form of CPU? Central Processing Unit. Where is Central Processing Unit? Option A, Central Processing Unit. What is not the input in a computer? So which of the following is not an input? Keyboard is an input. Yes. Camera is an input. Yes. Mouse is an input, but a printer is an output device. Again, very famous question. What is the full form of MOOC? Okay. What is the full form of MOOC? It is Massive Online Open Course. MOOC is the full form of Massive Online Open Course. What is the extension of photo or image in a computer file? MP4 is used for videos. Okay. It is, sorry, I ticked it by mistake. Okay. MP4 is for videos. For images, it is your JPEG. Okay. What is Windows? Windows is a word processor? No. Windows is an application software? No. Windows is a system software? No. Windows is an operating system. Operating system जो है जो is the base of a computer system. Okay. How can you recognize the website is an educational institution? So जब भी आप देखिए .com मतलब हमारा commercial है, .gov मतलब हमारा government organization है, .au मतलब हमारा Australian, okay? ऑस्ट्रेलियन वेबसाइट है. .in अगर है तो मतलब इंडियन वेबसाइट है. तो .edu means it is belonging to an educational institution. By which option objects can be given the animation? Okay, animation कहाँ से आता है? Animation effect से आता है. Simple. What is used to connect to the internet? The modem is used to connect to the internet. Modem is modulated demodulator. Modem का full form. Modem क्या करता है? आपके signals को convert करता है ताकि आप उसको use कर सकते हैं for your internet purposes. Which is the basic networking system? LAN, local area network, is a basic networking system. LAN, local area network. MAN, metropolitan area network. WAN, wide area network. So it is LAN, which is a basic networking system. Which software is useful for developing presentation? Presentation मतलब PPT presentation जो बोलते हैं. PPT का full form क्या है? PowerPoint. So it is MS, that's Microsoft PowerPoint. Which of the following is the first search engine? सबसे पहला search engine जो था वो Archie था. Archie is the first search engine. Okay. Which of the following option is useful for online learning? Online learning, Udemy में भी हम लोग online learning कर सकते हैं, edX पे भी हम लोग online learning कर सकते हैं, Byju's पे भी हम online learning कर सकते हैं. So your option is all of this. If you want to find out the content on the website, you make the use of. अगर आपको कोई भी content ढूंढना है website के ऊपर, so what do you make use of? You make use of a search engine. ठीक है, सर्च इंजन जैसे हमारा गूगल हो गया, याहू हो गया, these are all search engine जहाँ पे आप टाइप करते हो ना, whatever. अगर आपको आईआईटी का वेबसाइट भी ढूंढना है, you go on the search engine and you type the iit.ac.in, okay, and then you get into the IIT website. Dash was the first district-wide e-literacy project in India. Now, these are all factual questions in technology. Okay, it is Akshaya. Akshaya was the first district-wide e-literacy project in India, and it was implemented in the district of Malappuram, which is in Kerala. Okay, next. Now, starting with your teacher education, teaching aptitude, and teacher education questions. Which of the following statements is correct? Syllabus is a part of the curriculum. Syllabus is an annexure to the curriculum. Curriculum is the same in all education institutions affiliated to a particular university. Okay. Syllabus is not the same in all education institutions affiliated to a particular university. You know that syllabus is a part of the curriculum, which is absolutely correct. Okay. Annexure nahi hota, okay, because that is a part. Curriculum is not the same in all the institutions affiliated to an university. Every institution has their own different curriculum on how they want to function. Okay, but the syllabus is the same. Okay, the most appropriate purpose of learning: personal adjustment, modification of behavior, social and political awareness, preparing oneself for employment. Yes, very practical answer is preparing oneself for employment. अगर आप employee हो जाएंगे, ठीक है, then you are learning. The purpose of learning is to make yourself employable. Okay. Although there is a speculation that there can be a reason to give modification of behavior, but then in the answer key which we have checked, it is preparing oneself for employment. The students who keep on asking questions in class should be encouraged to find the answer independently. Yes, you should do this. You should ask your students to independently find. Advice to meet the teacher after the class. Encourage to continue questioning. Advice to not disturb the class during the lecture. Of course, ये वाला तो नहीं होगा, ठीक है? Advice to meet the teacher after the class is appropriate, but then the most appropriate would be encouraged to continue questioning. Okay, लेकिन make sure that they don't disturb the class. They should question, because questioning forms a interaction in a classroom, and this interaction helps in making the classroom more lively. Gandhiji's overall social and environmental philosophy is based on human beings' need, desire, wealth, welfare. Okay, it is based on the human beings' welfare. ठीक है, कल्याण, मानव कल्याण के ऊपर है गांधी जी के principles. Attitudes, concepts, skills, and knowledge are products of learning, research, hereditary explanation. It is of learning. Learning में ही आपके attitude आते हैं, learning में आपके concepts आते हैं, skills आते हैं, and knowledge आते हैं. If your student does not like your subject, what will you think? The textbook is very tough. My teaching is not satisfactory. The students don't like me. Okay. And students are very lazy, so they don't want to learn. So you never take students in a negative perspective. Textbook is very tough. Okay. Don't think that the students don't like me. Just think that the teaching is not satisfactory. Okay. You need to make sure that your teaching is up to the mark, or it at least reaches the student in the right manner or required manner. What is the full form of DIET? It is District Institute of Education and Training. Okay. District Institute of Educational Training. District Institute of Education and Training. It is option D. Which one of the following is more required to become a teacher? B.Ed, patience, active, or smartness? Of course, it is patience. Patience is the key of teaching. If you're patient enough to handle 30 students at one time who are trying to question, who are trying to talk, who are trying to create a nuisance in the class sometimes, it is very important that you be patient and you try to handle the class, manage the classroom proficiently. Question number 79. Which of the following activities should be preferred in the beginning of the class? Okay, when you enter the class, the first thing you should do is take attendance. जब भी आप attendance लेते हैं, आपको पता चलेगा कि कितने बच्चे present हैं and how you're supposed to carry on the chapter. Okay. The value education can be imparted in the best manner to the learners if the teacher tells them a value-based story. अगर story बता देंगे तो शायद it may be, but it may not be impactful. The teacher demonstrates the value in the classroom and school. The teacher explains the importance of the value. The teacher make them follow that value by forming some rules. Of course, हम लोग values को enforce नहीं कर सकते because values cannot be taught, values are caught. Okay. So you can do one thing is the teacher demonstrates the values in the classroom. आप जब बच्चों को बताएंगे कि what are the outcomes, what are the fruits of implementing or implying these values in real life, then they will certainly understand. Right to education is one of the principles of education philosophy of Gandhiji because Gandhiji wanted education for all. A student was not coming to the school for 5 days. Today he has come to school. First of all, what will you do? I will punish him in terms of no home tasks. No, you cannot punish a student. I will take him to the principal. No, you should not take a student to the principal unless it is very required. I will forgive him completely and will not take any action. No, you cannot ignore someone if the student's absent for so long. I will call him personally and talk to him first. Yes, it is very important that you talk to your students, finding out the reasons why they were absent, what all help do they require after rejoining school. The main duty of a teacher is to follow the textbook properly, follow the syllabus, take care of learning of the students, to complete the discussion on the textbook and the syllabus on time. Of course, it is to take care of the learning of the students because अगर teacher learning को propagate karte hai, if they try making learning the most important objective, okay, learning objectives to be important in the classroom, then you see that the learning outcomes will be achieved. Question number 84. A student of standard 11 receives 95 marks out of 100 in the subject of English in the annual examination. How will you interpret this as a teacher? Now, as a teacher, we need to interpret it in many ways. Okay, let's see the options. He has achieved most of the learning objectives decided by the teacher. He has really mastered English language. He can be an excellent teacher or professor of English in the future. He is a really hardworking student and he has developed excellent English language skills. Of course, if a student is gaining marks, you must know that the student is either very proficient or is very hardworking. So we can go with the safer option. That means he is very hardworking, okay, and he has developed excellent English language skills. Discussion and debate method of teaching is more appropriate. Now, whenever you talk about discussion and debate, you cannot use that in elementary school or primary school. Of course, it is in higher secondary. Okay? In higher education or in 11th and 12th, when you discuss with students, they tend to make their own thought processes because that is a crucial stage where students are developing their mindset. Okay, so higher education is the best for discussion and debate. Two students are talking again and again in the classroom, what will be your action? I will instruct them to keep silence, but then if they're talking again and again, they won't keep silent. I will punish them, which will be a little too harsh. I will make their sitting arrangement separate, okay, considerable. I will talk to them and try to know the reasons. No, you cannot, because if they're talking continuously, it's better to separate them, keep them aside so that you can continue with your classroom without any disturbance. Teaching of content and skills. Now, whenever you're talking about teaching of content and skills, are they different? No, of course, they're not different. Content and skills always go hand in hand. Okay. Are they the same? No. Content is basically very theoretical, skills is very practical. Different but related to each other? No, they're not different. But they're same and they're related to each other. Yes, they are very similar and related to each other because if you're teaching theory, you will also inculcate the practical knowledge in them. Why should we ask questions in the classroom? Why should we ask questions in the classroom? To check their knowledge, to motivate them as students, okay? To increase teacher-student and student-student interaction, all of these. Yes, it is all of these because if you ask questions, what are you doing? You're trying to create a discussion in the classroom, which is making your classroom more interactive and active. Question number 89. The biggest challenge in online education is online evaluation, internet issues, teaching of some skills and values, all of these. Of course, it's all of these, okay? You can't evaluate a student based on their online presence because there is scope of malpractices. Internet network issues, yes, many students face internet issues. Teaching of some skills and values, yes. Now, whenever you're teaching skills, not necessarily that it's going to reach the students through online basis. Who is the head of the education department of national level? Yes, it is the minister of MHRD. Then it was called MHRD. Now it is called the Ministry of Education. Who is the Minister of Education of India? It is Dharmendra Pradhan. Dharmendra Pradhan is the Education Minister of India. Okay. you can comment down who is the education minister of the state of Gujarat. Okay. Why should a person decide to become a teacher? Because it's a very good job, because one has to master a particular subject, because one has very good explanation skills and communication skills, because one has good skills and qualities required for a teacher. Okay. If a person should decide to become a teacher, the very important thing is they should have good skills and qualities required for a teacher. Communicators can be in every field. Okay. Good communication can be in every field. Teaching is definitely a good job. Okay. Because one has a mastery of one subject, not necessarily. There are some teachers who have mastered in multiple subjects. So you cannot focus on multiple single subject. You can talk with multiple subjects. But yes, you have the skills and qualities of a teacher, then you have to become a teacher. Okay, good chances of becoming a good teacher. Video conferencing is online classroom. Okay, is a part of online classroom, is not a part of online classroom, is related to video communication through smartphones. Okay, video conferencing is related to video communication through smartphones, of course. Okay, video conferencing is not just online classroom. Okay, you can have multiple tasks that can be done through video conferencing. The students have forgotten to bring the textbooks to the classroom. What will you do? I will assign them a task related to the previous lesson. I will check their notebooks. I will initiate group discussion related to the next topic. I will ask them questions related to the units I've already completed. I think it is good to go with the discussion. Okay, if students do not bring their textbooks, go with discussions in the classroom of the next topic. Introduce the next topic so that they are aware of what is coming up next. 94. Which of the following is not a term related to our education system? In education system, education objectives is a term, educational outcome is a term, educational goal is a term, self-learning is also a term. Okay. All of them are terms related to education, but when we talk about our education system, okay, in the system we use these three terms. We use education objectives, we use education outcomes, we use education goals. But then in the system, there is no concept of self-learning because there is a requirement of a teacher. Okay. Self-learning comes only in open schooling. Okay. Open schooling and open universities. Tell me which is the national open school. In the comment section, comment down which organization or which institution is the national open schooling institution. I have already given the answer in the question itself, but find out. Okay. And what about higher education? Which university on national level helps us gain education through open courses? Okay. Question number 95. Which of the following is not the method of teaching? Online teaching method, project teaching method. Yes, it is a teaching method. Teacher education में जब आप पढ़ेंगे आप देखेंगे कई सारे teaching methods है. Discussion method is also one. Inductive method is also one. Online teaching method particularly is not a teaching method. It is just a medium of teaching. Which is the major drawback of the examination system in India? Okay, when we talk about major drawbacks, we need to talk about it assesses the memory of the students. Yes, very much. कि जब हम exam देते हैं, usually हम लोग memory check करते हैं. Corruption in the examination, sometimes there is corruption, sometimes there's not. The duration of the examination is very long, not necessarily is a drawback. Students have to remember their learning for the whole year, not necessarily. Examination हो रहा है, you're talking about the entire content. So I think it assesses memory of the student. Okay. Next. The students will learn better if the teacher keeps talking to them informally in between. No. Creates humor in the class and break the boredom. Okay. Explains them twice and thrice. Maybe. Okay. The students relates a subject to the day-to-day life experience of students. Yes. Okay. When a teacher connects the concept to the students' experiences, the students will learn better. Okay, informal conversations don't encourage learning. Learning is basically जब आप knowledge को transmit करते हैं अपने students तक. So students will learn better when they connect with their surroundings. Who is the head of the primary education in a district? ठीक है? District education officer is the head of primary education in a district. Okay. Moving on to the next question, question number 99. So question number 99 says, which student requires special attention in the classroom? Students who never speak in the class, Students who always answers the questions, only A, and B. Of course, a student who never speaks in the class will require a little of attention so that we can open them up in the classroom. Okay. So only A, there are two options. So again, this is a grace marks question, but you know which one to answer. Okay. How can students be motivated to use the school library? Reading good book in the class by the teacher, display of list of very good books for the students on the notice board. नहीं, of course not. ठीक है, notice board पे देखने चले जाएंगे. Personally assign books to each student for reading. They will take the books and bring it back. They will not read it. Assign them tasks based on some books in the library. Yes, assigning them tasks will make them, you're encouraging students to use the library facility so that they do some research work, they do some study. Okay, they check the books out and complete the task assigned to them. Next, which of the following is the Roman numeral 50? V is denoting 5, X is denoting 10, C is denoting 100, L denotes 50. Which of the following statements is true for a circle? The diameter of the circle divides the circle into two equal parts. Okay. Which of the following is true? Okay. The arc is a part of the circle. The circle is a closed sphere. All of the above. Okay. The diameter of the circle divides the circle into two parts. It is correct. Arc is a part of the circle. It is also correct. The circle is a closed sphere. Is also closed sphere. Yes, it is a closed sphere. So the answer is all of the above. If a 7-meter cloth is for rupees 294, 7 meter is for rupees 294. What is the length for 5 meters? 5 meters is how much? Cross multiplication. Question mark goes on the other side, is equal to 294 into 5 upon 7. Okay. Is it divisible? Yes, it is divisible. 7 4s are 28, 2s are 14. Okay, 5 2s are 10, carry over 1, 5 4s are 20, 20 plus 1, 21. So the answer is rupees 210. Which of the following is the mode of the following data? So mode is basically kitni baar ek number repeat kiya gaya, the highest frequency of the number repeated. 13, there are two 13, 14, 14, 14, there are three 14s. 16, there's only one, 12, there's one, two. So it is 14, 14, 14. 14 is repeated three times, so the mode is 3. If the perimeter of the square is 40 meters, what is the area of the house? Okay. If perimeter 4a is equal to 40 meters, so a is equal to 40 upon 4, that is equal to 10 meters. Okay. And area of a square is equal to a square. So 10 is the length. So 10 square, that is equal to 100 meter square. So 100 meter square, option C. Which of the following is a perfect square? 100 is a perfect square. Of course, 10 square is 100. Either here, just the above question. What is the volume of a 4 centimeter side cube? Volume of a cube is given by a cube. If the side is 4, 4 cube is 64 cubic centimeter. Okay, 64 cubic centimeter. Next, what is the function of a seed drill? Now, in farming, okay, there is a seed drill. A seed drill is used to sowing the seeds. जो बीज बोने के लिए जो use किया जाता है, it's called a seed drill. What is PET? PET stands for polyester. What is the main component of CNG? Okay, CNG का जो main component है वो क्या है? वो होगा हमारा methane. Basic facts. The friction force depends on the surface smoothness, surface roughness, surface tilt, all of them. Yes, it depends on all of them. Which of the following is a complex substance? Amino acids is a complex substance. Okay, all of the rest are simple. Which component of blood contains hemoglobin? Okay, hemoglobin is present in the red blood cells. Which of the following devices does not use an electric cell? A torch uses an electric cell, a TV remote uses an electric cell, a clock uses an electric cell. A fuse does not use an electric cell. Okay, a fuse is basically maintained, it is connected to the circuit, main circuit. Ozone layer is located at a height of dash kilometer over and about the crust of the earth. Okay, it is about 10 to 20 kilometers. Okay, so option C, 10 to 20 kilometers. Last set of questions. Which information can be located in the election ID? Date of birth, yes, date of birth is also. Election ID जो है, what is the election ID called? It is called the EPIC card. Okay, EPIC basically means election photo identity card. Election photo identity card. ओके सो ईपीआईसी पे क्या क्या रहता है ओके सबसे पहले हमारा डेट ऑफ बर्थ होता है ठीक है एंड हमारा जेंडर होता है ठीक है सो वी हैव द डेट ऑफ बर्थ एंड द जेंडर ऑन द इलेक्शन आईडी. If you see trees like cedar, pine, fir, and spruce while visiting the forest, what region do you think you have visited? See, these trees are long trees, okay? So, bade trees, and these are all found in coniferous forests, okay? These are in coniferous forests. Which of the following revolutionary was not executed death punishment? Was not executed death punishment, okay? Ashfaqullah Khan, Lala Lajpat Rai, Chandrasekhar Azad, Ram Prasad Bismil. Okay, so Ram Prasad Bismil, you know, Kakori Kand. Lala Lajpat Rai was hit by a stick. Lathi charge में उनकी जान चली गई थी. Okay, so of course Lala Lajpat Rai है. Chandrasekhar Azad shot himself. So the option is option B and C. Is there anyone which has B and C? Yes, option B, which has option B and C. Okay. In which district do you have to go to see the Kajiaria and the Gaga bird sanctuaries? Okay, this most of the bird sanctuaries in Gujarat lies in the state or in the district of Jamnagar. So you will have to see these bird sanctuaries in Jamnagar. The last question, okay, this is also in Gujarati. Basically, the question means what all are a part of the biosphere? In the biosphere, every living organism is a part of the biosphere: vegetation, animals, microbes, all three of the above. All of the above are part of the biosphere. So this is the solution. Okay, you have 1.5 hours to solve this paper, and we took, I think, so almost 50 minutes to solve this question paper. So not an issue. If you are prepared enough, you can solve this question paper easily. So again, once again, I wish you all very good luck for your examination. This is just one solution. If you require more solutions, do let me know so that we can upload it. The next video will be about the tips and tricks to remember how to answer the i3T test so that you do not waste your time, you use your time judiciously, and what all are the questions you need to tackle first and what all will require time to tackle questions. All the very best. See you all. This is Teacher PRP signing off.